Hello guys, this is Spicy Bill. Welcome back to another episode of Gunpla Review. Today we'll be looking at the high-grade Universal Century HGUC 144 scale stuff that are not Zaku. Yeah, this is like the 10th time that I had to record this video. And my patience running really thin. I don't know why. I keep running into issues. First, it's like the magazine was missing. And then something was missing. Something else was missing. So it's just crazy. I don't know why. One of these guys is cursed. So anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at these two. Obviously, the HGUC right here is highly inspired by the Zaku 2 design. It's made by Anaheim Electronics. So yeah, obviously, I guess after the 1 year war, a lot of the Xeon engineer went to work for Anaheim Electronics, and they start developing these mobile suits for the Earth Federation. Yeah, believe it or not, this is Earth Federation grunt suit. Now, I know Earth Federation also captured a lot of the old Zaku 2s and repurposed them as their, grunt units, and then they just repaint them in the Earth Federation color. But yeah, this is like a newly designed Earth Federation mobile suit that's based on the Zaku 2 design. Well, technically not so much. As you can see, it's got these very Gundam-style vents right here on the chest. It's got tons of power cables. And it's more like a Zaku 2 high mobility. As you can see, we got all these extra thruster ports on the legs and an enlarged backpack, for high maneuverability in space. It's still sporting the Zaku 2 machine gun though. It does have the reactor, higher power reactor that allows it to use beam weapons, but it's not very efficient. So most of them still uses the Zaku 2 style machine guns. Yeah, imagine a Fetty piloting this thing. I mean, look at that. That's like the Fetty symbol. Obviously, it wasn't always used by the Fettys. Eventually, it became part of Titan's arsenal. And, the Titans were doing like some really atrocious stuff with these suits. So, yeah, kind of very Xeonic. Reminiscent of like the Xeon operations. But yeah, that's why I put a whole bunch of Titan decal on this kit. Obviously, it's very old, and it's like one of the earlier high-grade Universal Century kit. So it's got some, it's got joints that are pretty much just polycaps, straight peg into a polycap. So that's very common, and the proportion is obviously Kunio Okawara, not Hajime Katoki, as you can see right here. Let's go ahead and do another quick comparison. You can see arms and legs proportion to that of a human being. It has a lot larger than Hajime Katoki style design. Hajime Katoki has like longer legs, small body, and small head. So yeah, the HGUC is pretty cool. Now, you do have to do a lot of work on this kit if you wanted to have it look like this. You have to paint all the power cables. They're not, they don't come in this color. They come in this gray color to match the bodies. So yeah, it's a lot of work. I also put a lot of water slide decal on this kit. Also painted all the thrusters, just to make it look presentable. Now it can, it can hold its weapon. You just have to kind of work it in. It does not have the butterfly joints for the shoulders, so yeah, everything has to be like just like finesse, or you have to fiddle with it to get it into that position so it can hold the weapon. But still, it's a very nice kit. I don't think Bandai is ever gonna revive the HGUC. I don't know. I don't think it's a possibility. This thing is just not that popular. I mean, just by looking at it, would you rather have a Zaku 2 or something like a HGUC? Which, unless you're a big fan of Zeta Gundam, you probably don't know what the heck this is. You probably think it's a Zaku. Or some people may think it's a Gundam. So, anyway, I should probably stop trolling. The Zaku machine gun's okay. It's got like a different sight system, but everything else is very similar to that of a, Zaku 2. So, got the shoulder shield that you can articulate. This time it's got this very nice shield right here. It's got the Federation symbol right there. But yeah, and you just peg that into the forearm. Okay, so I think that is pretty much it for the HGUC. This is definitely a kit I would only recommend to people who have some, minor painting skills, because you're gonna have to do some work on this kit. It is actually pretty solid though. Yeah, despite most of the joints being just straight polycaps, it's pretty solid, at least for the waist section. There's no ab crunch whatsoever. You just have the waist articulation. Front skirt is one piece. You do have a peg hole here for the what's that? Actually, you know what? I think what I did here is I modify this section right here. It's supposed to use like a different style connection point. Basically, I cut up a polycap and I just stuck it in there. So now you can just stick this on a regular action base. Yeah, that was a pretty smart move by me. So yeah, you can see I just put this thing on the action base, and it works perfectly fine. So that's a very easy mod, but very effective. It does come with two hands. You're not gonna do anything with this one. It doesn't come with like a He-Hawk or like a beam sword or anything. It just comes with this machine gun. Accessory is very sparse, but yeah, it will look good if you put in the work. It's and that's pretty much it. I do like this green color scheme though. It's somehow it looks better than the Zaku. This green and the dark green, very interesting. So anyway, that's a HGUC, and next up we have the Marasai. Now there's also a unicorn version of the Marasai that's in this color, and I think that looks pretty cool. But if you're a fan of Zeta Gundam, the Marasai is in it's in this red color in the anime, and it's got this very nice beam rifle right here. Very nice. I think this beam rifle can also be used by the HGUC, and I think it was actually originally used by the Zaku. So yeah, they obviously recycle a lot of their equipments from old Xeon suits that never made into production. And obviously this guy's also got a ton of power cables. Power cable at the joints, power cable at the waist, power cable at the head, and power cable that goes all the way to the backpack. And we got this very interesting shoulder shield here. This is a very Zeta Gundam-like shoulder shield. It's not, I don't know, when I was a kid, I really liked the design of the shield. I like the way it folds. Now that I'm an adult, I'm kind of liking it less because I feel like it's just very gimmicky. And it can house its beam sabers. So it's got two beam sabers, although it only got one gripping hand. And yeah, the gripping hand is also a trigger finger. So it's very odd. I think Bandai make a very odd choice when designing this. And the peg hole for the beam saber, it's very loose, so you're gonna have to be very careful when you're holding the weapon. I mean, it works, but seems to be very problematic. All right, I guess we just can ignore that. Yeah, this is also a very much older kit, as you would expect, just like from the HGUC. It's one of the earlier HGUC kit. They didn't even bother reviving this kit. They just recolored it and released it as a unicorn version and give it extra accessories. So it was very lazy. Anyway, but it still looks pretty cool. Obviously, once again, we got the spike shoulder shield, and we got the spike pauldron and the shoulder shield. So very Zaku-esque designs. This time you can use a beam weapon. It's got the mono eye in here that you can barely see. You cannot adjust a mono eye on either kits. This thing is kind of dusty. Anyway, it's also rock solid. So this is definitely really cool. And it's got a lot of thrusting power on the backpack, so this thing's capable of pretty good maneuverability. I think it went up against the in the Gundam Unicorn, the Remnant took one of the Marasai and went up against the Bylon. It tried to put up a fight, but it still got wrecked pretty easily. So I don't know. It looks pretty cool. I think that's pretty much all I can say about it. Definitely like the design of the headpiece. This commander antenna is a little bit too much, but yeah. Okay, so let's go over the articulation on this guy. Obviously, very old design, the ball joint to the polycap, so really not much articulation there. This is not even double jointed knees, man. This is like single jointed, just like the Marseille. Obviously, the feet is on a ball joint. We have very well, since these are very old, don't expect any waist articulation. So the torso is just going to be very solid. You can rotate that. It's a peg that goes into a polycap. The front skirt can move. Surprisingly, the back skirt can move too. Obviously, we got the very similar design as a Zaku, so you can kind of move the shoulder shield up a little bit and trying to get more articulation out of that, but really not much. This time though, you do have the butterfly joint, so it's easier for it to pose with the weapons. Bicep swivel, and we have the bend at the elbow, 90 degree, a little bit more than 90 degrees actually. And we have part separation for this power cable part, so that's actually pretty nice. And we have the ball joint for the hand. I only got the 2 pairs of hand, one of this open hand and a trigger finger. So yeah, it's very it doesn't even come with a proper hand for gripping the beam sabers. But this beam rifle is pretty cool. You do have to paint the power cable and the sight. And other than that, you know, if you guys like Zeta Gundam, these guys would definitely be right up your alley. Especially if you guys are fans of the Titans from the early days. Yeah, I know they don't have the combat deployment colors, and they're not Barzans and Jim Quells. They're just very weird, Zionic looking mass-produced grunt suits. But you know, if you guys like that kind of thing like myself, these guys would be right up your alley. They're very easy to put together, pretty solid. I guess if you want to mass them, they should be very cost efficient to mass these guys if you really want to do that. But other than that, that's pretty much it for this review. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching.